I thought being my authentic self would cost me my career, pretty much. I didn't feel like I could have the success that I have now if I were to just be Jermelle Simon, you know? And I still kind of struggle with that. I still kind of struggle with how authentic should I be, like how, because to me, authenticity is, again, also inviting people in. And so I don't know how much of my true self will get in the way of my success and my career. Because I feel like you can only be but so real. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly how authentic I can be and how much of the game I still have to play. I showcase a certain version of myself that I feel like only people that give me a safe space get to see. Even how I show up online, social media, TikTok specifically, I just want to make people laugh. You know, I just want to show you that version of myself, which is an authentic version of me, but just that version. You know, I actually don't even know why I protect that, because if I showed you, I've already done the big thing. I've already said, I don't even know if it's the big thing anymore. Notice I'm like questioning everything. I came out, you know, I said the thing that you can't say, you know, as a black man from the South. I've already said that. So I'm not even sure what it is that I'm afraid of at this point. But yeah, still, I'm still kind of like, I don't know, let me test the waters to see just how real I can be. The things that were placed on me were the typical, you know, black man from the South tropes. Like, you know, I gotta be strong. I have to suppress my emotions, cry in private. All the things that I was not, you know. I would go fishing with my grandfather, and I remember I enjoyed like bonding with my granddad, but when it came down to doing the quote unquote man things, like cleaning the fish and hell, eating the fish, I just was like, this is a little too, you know, I don't know if I like this part. I just want to do this part, but you had to do everything, you know. I feel like I was never being a black man from the South, I feel like you work, you know, you're a workhorse in a way. My grandfather retired. He retired, then went back to work. My dad, he didn't finish high school, but he worked. Every man around me worked, you know. It wasn't really, not to diminish any them and being, not to diminish their, how they move about life, not to diminish that, but to me, they didn't leave room for the arts, for like creative thinking, and I wanted to use my brain a lot more than I wanted to use my hands. I remember just thinking, I'm just not built for this in this way. If this is what it takes to be a man, I feel a little off from this, but I gotta kind of play this role because that's what is given to me, you know? I don't think that black men are taught how to process emotions at all. I do think it's about survival, how to survive what you're feeling. I feel like it's a weakness. I feel like it's, especially being a black man from the South, where there are no emotions. They're like anger. Outside of anger, I don't know another emotion that is welcomed. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if men in the South, black men in the South, I don't know if they hold space for you to have any other emotion outside of anger. And I think what needs to be taught is like how to turn and face, how to lean into the emotion, because what I've been realizing what's helping me now is I have this natural reaction to emotion, which is like to suppress it, to like lean away from it, you know, because I was never taught how to process it. I feel like when I turn and face the feeling, it passes through me, opposed to like running away from it and it continues to chase me. What I'm trying to not pass down is false guilt. And I feel like I want them to be able to know you can care about a person, but that's for them to carry. You know, I don't want them to carry my shit, pretty much. You know, and I can see, I know what it feels like to like, I know what it feels like to worry about your mom. You know, and I feel like I carried a lot of my mom's just pain because I couldn't separate care from what was hers. You know, a lot of things was things that had nothing to do with me, and now I see my children kind of do the same thing. So if I'm very mindful of how I go about a thing because they're watching me at every turn. It's like a constant mirror, and I know how easy it is for someone to take their baggage on, and I just never want them to do that because, again, that guilt is not for you. Like, what my actions, you don't have to suffer the consequence for my actions. You know, I'm emotionally intelligent enough to carry my own things, but I think it's difficult because I do want them to see me as a full human. You know, and when someone sees you as a full human, they see all the emotions, and so just trying to walk with them, I'm just trying to, I think, in being mindful of not passing down that false guilt thing, I talk with them about what I'm going through, and maybe I overshare and tell them too much, but I just always want them to know that it's, hey, daddy has this, this is not yours to carry. You know, I'm just going through a thing, and I'm kind of vague with it. I won't say exactly what it is, but I just want it to be clear that I can handle this, and it's okay that you care about me, but don't worry about this shit later. Like, I got this, you know? Because I know how natural that is to care for your parent, you know? And I wish someone would explain to me that I could love and care for my mom, but ultimately my mom has to make the decision to find peace. I think I feel lonely now while being surrounded by so much love and opportunities and all the things. And I just got diagnosed with ADHD last year. And I think it's one of those things that it's very difficult to, even for the doctors to explain to you what is happening. And I have inattentive ADHD. So low mood, I'm always like searching for dopamine, you know, and I'm happily married. I have 3 children who I know all 4 of them love me, right? But they could never understand just what it takes to be in a good mood, you know? And so I think I have felt very isolated because of my ADHD and trying to just learn myself more, understand myself more so that I can give that to the people that, you know, love me, so that I can show them how to support me. So I first need to learn how to support myself. I think having ADHD is isolating. I also think I had a different experience. I had 3 children before I was 24, and a lot of my peers, a lot of my friends, they don't really, that part of my life, they get and they support me, but then, you know, you would have to, I think you would have to experience that in the ways that I did to understand what being a teen father does to you. I don't think it's this like horrible thing more than I think. I was taught I had to teach myself how to survive while keeping a baby alive, pretty much. You know, like my daughter just graduated, my oldest sister graduated high school and she's going to college August 18th. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to cry, but no. I think when life gets loud and all these expectations are put on me, I think I'd like to meditate more. I think that is what helps me to slow down and feel centered and grounded. I don't always do that. I can always tell when I'm not in that space because everything is fast and chaotic. I'm really good at being consistent with my reading. I'm like a self-help. That's all I read. Don't give me anything else. Just give me self-help, you know. So I think reading and meditation helped me a lot. I work out every day, and I don't necessarily work out to have like this superhero body more than it is to have a superhero mind, if that makes sense. Because I'm going back to having ADHD, I'm always like constantly searching for the dopamine, and I feel like the working out makes me feel good about myself, which in turn makes me feel grounded and centered. So yeah, I think working out, meditation, and reading, if I can remember to meditate. But I think meditation is probably the most beneficial thing for me to be able to slow my thoughts down. A lot of me feeling outside of myself is just being frantic and panicking, and I think the meditation helps me to just allow whatever it is to just come to me, you know? Slow down. Like, I feel like, as counterproductive as it sounds, the slower you are, the faster it comes to you. And I know we all know to attract and not chase, but I feel like that's not taught as much as it should, because I would like to look at myself as I'm standing still and whatever the thing is coming toward me. And I feel like the definition for me of being in my own way is trying to find whatever way to make sure I get to my goal, whatever the thing is. And if I release the how and keep the what, I always win. So I always knew I wanted to be an actor, and I had no idea like how. I was, again, a black boy from South Carolina. How am I going to make it to Hollywood and be on a TV show? And I didn't have the language or the understanding of just releasing the how. I just called it delusion. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know I'm going to do it. And I think that's helped me in my life now to release the how and keep the what. So I would say to young black boys, like, who cares about the how? It'll get there. Everything will work out in the way and unfold in the way that you need it. And maybe not exactly how you want, but perfectly. I hope the next generation of black men never have to carry the idea that vulnerability is a weakness. I feel like a lot of what makes me strong is my ability to be honest with myself, with my feelings, to let go of the idea that men don't cry, that I can't showcase any emotion outside of just anger and being a strong individual. And you understand you not being able to be a full human is a lie. You know, you not being able to feel every single emotion, like it's your birthright to feel. And however that comes out is how that comes out. You know, it doesn't, I think we have this, especially with men, you know, this is for girls, this is for women, you shouldn't, this is sassy, this is whatever. And a lot of things are just, this is human. Like you are having human behavior and you should be able to showcase that. So releasing this idea that, again, vulnerability is some sort of a weakness. The version of myself that I'm still becoming is the confident version. I think because I feel like the more you know, the more you don't know, I'm constantly just curious and asking, you know, questions. And I feel like it goes back to understanding that I'm enough. Like when I stopped playing the role of like the straight black man from the South, and I tapped into what it is that the type of man that I want to be, I didn't know if that was enough. You know, I was kind of like seeking validation to see if could I do it this way, could I do it that way, and then I think full confidence is releasing all of that. It's like, this is how I want to show up, and this is what I want to say, and I'm not seeing if you like it or not. You know, but I'm still working on that version of myself. He's in there somewhere. I think emotional freedom for black men would look like learning how to relax. I think we are taught to work. Like that's I don't even know another thing. I mean, we're taught many things. No, we're not. We're taught to work, right? And I don't think that we're taught to enjoy life And I do feel like we are not sent here just to make the most amount of money, to provide the most amount for our family. When you are able to relax, when you learn how to relax, I think you also relax your nervous system. I think when you relax your nervous system, you allow your full self to show up because you're not constantly in survival mode. You're not constantly trying to figure out how I'm going to pay the next bill, and you can actually breathe. So I think it would look like being able to honor when you're tired. I think I have many moments where being honest feels riskier than being silent. However, if it's on my chest, I'm gonna get it off. You know what I mean? I think that I have suppressed so much as a child. I suppressed like my entire identity that I have gotten to a space where I just have to get it off. I feel like I never regret being honest, because I think honesty always feels riskier than being silent. Like I just feel like I know the outcome. I know what suppression looks like. I know what not getting it off my chest looks like in the end. And so I'm gonna get it off, but I always feel like being honest is riskier, even in the safest spaces. I just feel like because we were never taught really to be honest, especially not with ourselves. I was never taught that. I think I spent a lot of years, again, cosplaying the man I was raised to be. The man I was raised to be was to provide for my family, to find a wife, to have kids, and make sure my family was good. That changed a little bit because I don't have a wife, I have a husband. So automatically, my upbringing was, it can't help me now. I didn't get the manual for the man that I need to be. So I had to, in so many ways, burn it all down because none of it worked for me, because that again was the man that they wanted me to be, which it wasn't wrong. That just wasn't what it was, So I think I just started thinking about what it is that I want maybe a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, so fairly recent. And so I've gotten to a place where I just have completely started over. So a lot of my answers to a lot of things these days is I don't know. I'm feeling very comfortable I don't know, because I don't, and I think that growing up and being raised as a man, you can't say I don't know. I just want to normalize sometimes I'm just figuring it out, or I don't know, we'll see, because I don't always have the answers, so and to figure out exactly what it is that I want while understanding that that might not be what people want from me, and the recovering people pleaser in me is dying, but it's really I think that challenges that a lot, because I always want to be liked, and I think I didn't realize that until recently either, where what I'm going through now is just people pleasing. Someone not liking me is so interesting to me, because I know my intention. And again, going back to intention versus impact, I always mean well. So I just, that was, to this day, it's a hard thing for me to accept. Some people just simply won't like you, but I wish a black man would have told me that I was safe, and that I was enough. I think I struggle with that, still struggle with, is this a safe space? Can I be myself? And then when I am myself, is that enough? Am I playing the game enough, this life game enough? So I think having someone that has had a similar experience telling me, you'll be fine, you'll be okay, things will work out for you, they will unfold in the way that they need to, would have helped me out a lot. Because I think I've heard that from people who I can always challenge, but you don't come from where I come from. You don't, you know, you don't get it, you know. And I think a black man telling me that would have been just the reassurance that I need to keep going.